I just make musical decisions, really.
Do you respect North?
If I was a control freak, I'd never... Well, I'd be in a nut house by now.
Is he always right?
Nope.
Someone's got to carry the car, haven't they?
When is he wrong?
When I'm right.
Do you really argue as much as it's made out?
Yeah. I'm having a good run now at the moment. I haven't argued for about a day. Pretty good.
So you argue every day, usually?
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
Because we're brothers.
When I was about, I'd say about 6 or 7, when seen all reruns of Beatles programmes, I think. Watching them shaking their heads, singing "Yeah, Yeah, Yeah" was the first memory I've got of music. And then took guitar lessons at school, but they kicked me out because I was left-handed, but I play guitar right-handed, and they was insisting that I play it left-handed, but I couldn't get my head around it.
So, that's not right, is it? Then?
No, not really. I'd like to say if my music teacher's watching, do you want to borrow a tenner?
Yeah.
The radio probably ain't going to touch it because it says cigarettes and alcohol, but it's not glorifying.
It's not saying go on.
It's not glorifying drinking or smoking. It's a feeling that you get when you're on the dole and you've got no money, maybe to escape from your surroundings. That maybe all you have is cigarettes and alcohol, and that's all that matters.
You joined your brother's band. It's called Rain.
They were called Rain, but that was before our Liam joined. Our Liam joined and renamed them Oasis. And then I joined about, I think it was after the first gig, it was about October-ish 1991 I joined.
Right.
Bonehead, Griggs, bass player, and Tony. And like, we were really snide, we weren't going nowhere, it was really crap. And then we needed songs, our kid had songs, but he was working all the time. And when he come back and he found out his younger brother had joined the band, doing a bit of singing, I weren't no good. And like, he just thought, right, yeah, I can make him a bit better because I've got proper songs.
And what changes did you make?
Told the bass player to get rid of his 5-string bass guitar.
5 is too many.
Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Told the rhythm guitarist that he'd have more character if he lost a bit of air. So we made him go bald.
Sort of got a couple of months into it and we got together these songs and we started getting our own sound. And then you start thinking, it was like, yeah, you can do some out of this, because it was sound, it was rocking, you know what I mean?
And then decided I was going to be the songwriter and take all the money.
He writes all the words out and he gives it me, and I listen to him sing it a couple of times and then I lock into it and then I sing it back to him the way I sing it, which is better than him.
You're being hyped as the best band around at the moment. Is all the hype true?
Yeah.
It is?
Yeah.
Good.
The best band about today on the planet. It's a fact.
I thought whatever might have gone to #1, because it's a great song, and it didn't. Goes to #3, and the likes of E17 and that silly song they wrote goes to #1. But you know.
2 years ago, we went straight in the album chart at #1 with our debut album, Wolfenstein.
And here's a band who done exactly the same thing. They're called Oasis. The album is called Definitely Maybe, and here's Rock and Roll Star.
Not jumping around like idiots, we're just standing still, getting on with the music. And we knew that given a bit of time, we get in the public eye, the songs will take it to where we are, and it's took it.
People have said to us, oh, it's an overnight success thing, but we've been in this band for 3.5 years now, so it ain't. You know, we've had 3.5 years of scumming it around, doing whatever we've been doing and been on the dole and trying to keep the band together. So it's not overnight to us, it's overnight to people like yourselves and all that, but it's a 3.5 year slog for us, so we're just taking it all in our stride. We deserve all the praise that we're getting at the moment.
Will you say hello to the Ozone?
Hey, I'm Liam from Oasis, and our new song, some might say, has gone straight to #1, not to take that right off the spot. I haven't done a video. I didn't do a video because the idea of the video was like not right, and I didn't like the idea. So it was a waste of money. I'm not paying £30,000 to someone for me to sit in a truck stop and eat eggs, bacon and beans. So I didn't get out of bed that morning, and the rest of the band did, and I didn't, so we didn't do a video. And I got a slap wrist for it, but we didn't do a snide video, so there's no video for it.
Two of Britain's most popular pop groups have begun the biggest chart war in 30 years.
The slanging match between Oasis and Blur may be settled once and for all this week.
They're the two most popular bands in Britain, having sold millions of records, and they're currently engaged in a chart war that set the music industry alight.
Tomorrow, both bands release their new singles. Next week's #1 is likely to be either Blur's Country House or Oasis Roll With It.
There's little love lost between the two groups, who view each other with derision. This could be dismissed as pure hype to boost record sales, but at times the put-downs have been less than friendly.
I won't play a game with students. They're not worthy of being mentioned in the same breath as us.
Liam likes to be more in your face than I do, but I'm harder.
He said a lot of things about my group behind our backs, you know what I mean, that we've heard about, and they were insulting things. And that's fine, that's fair enough. If he's not got a bottle to say to our faces, then, you know, see you later.
All I can say about all this Battle of the Bands business is, if there's any winners at all, it's you lot out there, because you're getting loads of good music to listen to. So, straight in at #2, this is Oasis. That can mean only one thing: Blur are top of the pops.
There's nothing, you know, there's nothing to do with us. We never instigated it or anything like that. It was that other lot.
It's not a battle of bands though, is it?
Battle of the press.
It's a battle of the press, yeah, it's all a press thing again. I mean, we didn't start this band to get into competition with some other band. We started this band to be Oasis, to be what we want it to be.
I know the road down which your life will drive. I find the key that lets you slip inside. Kiss the girl, she's not behind the door. You know I think I recognize your face, but I've never seen you before.
Blur may have won the battle for the #1 single, but with their new album crashing straight in at #1, it looks like Oasis are set to win the war.
There was a lot of press recently about you saying that you fancied Justine, Damon's girlfriend. Is it true?
Yeah.
Do you think that will wind Damon up?
Yeah.
Why?
Because he'll say it won't and that, but deep down it will.
Do you think she fancies you then?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I just think she does.
But weren't you really horrible to her?
Yeah. And I shouldn't have been, and I'm sorry.
Where is it, Liam?
Gone for his MOT.
Did he fail it? Will he fail it, do you think?
Yes, he will. I think well, his voice has gone. He's stayed up too many nights partying and he's
Faulty throat.
Faulty throat.
I've not given it to him, have I?
No, I'm going to give it him in a bit when I see him, I'll tell you that.
Said maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me. And after all, you're my wonder wall.
I won't have fun. You know what I mean? Everyone has a fair share of fun. I'm sure you have your fair share of fun. Don't you? You look as if you do. You have fun, haven't you? How the f right, could I not have fun? I'm 24 years of age in the biggest rock and roll band in the bleeding world, or the most important rock and roll band in the world. The biggest doesn't matter about being big, does it? Most important rock and roll band in the world. How could I not have fun?
Press are going to paint a picture, aren't they? You know what I mean? You're going to be either that or that. And we're that, we're like the bad boys, aren't we? You know what I mean?
See, the rock and roll lifestyle was invented in the 70s by groups like Led Zeppelin and stuff like that.
When we come off that stage, have a good time. Have a few beers and do whatever you do.
No one wants goody-goody boy, do they, in rock and roll? Wouldn't work. The songs wouldn't work, for a start. Wouldn't be able to get that anger out in a song.
I mean, I don't walk around with a velvet waistcoat on with the diagram of the universe on the back of it, with a joss stick hanging out my nostril going, oh wow, man, a hole in my shoe and all that, you know.
24 years of age, got a load of money. What to do, sit at home and bleeding, clip my kissing toenails and pick my nose all day. Got to go out and have it, haven't you? Because you'd have it, wouldn't you? So come on.
For music fans, the Brits was the event of the year. The night, however, belonged to bad boys Oasis. They clinched a hat-trick of awards: Best Group, Best Album and Best Video.
They're all voted for by idiots in ponytails with Dickie
What about the one voted by fans, though?
The one voted for by the fans means a lot. Anything that's voted for by fans is special. Anything that's voted for by idiots, corporate pigs, means nothing to us.
Noel Gallagher of Oasis has claimed that the group means more to young people than God.
Oasis, and Noel Gallagher in particular, have rarely been out of the headlines. In his latest pronouncement that Oasis are more important than God, he posed the intriguing question, has God played Nebworth recently?
Yeah. Why did you decide to come to Nebworth?
Why? Because it was the biggest place that could take us, really.
Just what is going on inside this man's head?
Take pictures, don't ask questions.
What's going on outside is plain enough. 5% of the population trying to get tickets to the Nebworth concert.
History.
We are making history. Oh, definitely, yeah. Definitely. You're making history just talking to me now.
The world of music has been rocked by the news that Liam Gallagher isn't joining his brother and the rest of Oasis on their tour of America. Time was when rock groups split over musical differences. This time it seems it's house hunting. Mr. Gallagher says that he can't find a new home while trying to perform to silly Yanks. He also has a sore throat.
Liam gets a lot of pressure from what he does, and he has people camping out his door every 5 minutes. I mean, you have to be quite strong to put up with that, don't you?
Hello, is Mr. Gallagher there, please? Who's it? It's, is that Liam? Yeah. Hello, Liam, it's Jeremy Vine from Newsnight here. How are you doing?
I'm sound, how are you?
Not bad. Are you coming out?
It's raining, mate.
Why aren't you going to Chicago? Hello, Liam? Liam?
Well, people don't like us anyway.
That isn't true.
But it is. Believe you me, darling, when I first joined this band, they've always hated us. They always hate northern people, and that's the way it is, but I don't care. You know what I mean? Some of them come round, some of them don't.
Creation Records have denied that Oasis, said to be Britain's biggest group since the Beatles, are about to split up.
Liam, what have you got to say about the rumours that the band are on the verge of breaking up?
Breaking down's better.
Breaking down, mate?
Yeah. We're breaking down.
Who's that? No, you got a moment? You got a moment, Noel? The man who likes to hang around at #1 reached number 10 today. Theoretically, Noel Gallagher isn't quite as bad as his brother Liam, who wasn't here, but nonetheless his presence did seem to ruffle the rather austere surroundings of Downing Street.
Have you been to 10 Downing Street? No. Well, I have, so shut it. And anyway, I'll be Lord Mayor of London within the next 6 months.
And what will you do?
Pardon?
And what will you do if you're Lord Mayor of London?
people's mouths, listen,
legalising drugs.
How was it that the Gallagher brothers of Oasis were able to spend the best part of an hour sitting in a Radio 1 studio, effing and blinding, praising drugs and threatening violence at 8 in the evening? Are these the people we want vaunted on the front of magazines as the epitome of cool new Britain?
Yeah. The reason why the majority of the people in this country like my band is because we are like the majority of the people in this country. You know, we still go to football matches, we still go to the pub. We do get nicked and busted and stuff like that, like everybody else does, you know. We're still outspoken and we still don't give a shit.
The Oasis star, Noel Gallagher, has aroused new controversy by saying that taking drugs is as normal as having a cup of tea. He was immediately condemned by politicians, with one minister calling him a spoilt brat.
You know, I mean, as soon as people realise that the majority of the people in this country take drugs, then, I mean, the better off we'll all be.
Is it tough? Yeah, it can be. Some days it is. Go through periods where, you know, sometimes things ain't going right, a lot of things are going wrong, and then you go through periods where everything's going right and nothing's going wrong. So you've got to take the rough with the smooth, or you've got to roll with it, as some idiot once said.
It's weird sometimes when you read the paper and, you know, they're telling you what Liam had last night for dinner. You know, he had a Chinese takeaway and he had egg fried rice, but Patsy had an Indian.
As the rock star ordered 2 of something for breakfast, friends wondered if his instability might shake the band to pieces.
He's beyond protection, that lad. If you tell Liam not to put his head in the fire, then he will. I mean, if you say, you know, if you advise him not to do something, then he's going to go and do it. So you just got to let him go on with it. And the reason why they pick on him is because he goes around punching photographers in the face, you know.
Forgive us if we seem a little paranoid, but Liam did seem to have it in for us. Why'd you try and knock us over Liam earlier?
No, now, I sort of look at this logically. It's like, I mean, I don't like having my photographs taken when I'm out and about out of town, but, you know, if you're going to go and smack, you know, a photographer in the face who works for the News of the World, then he's going to go and tell his editor, who's going to go, did he really now? Right, we'll have that bastard. So, but he can handle it. I mean, he says he can anyway. So. But he caught it more than, and all the hassle that comes with that. We don't need to do. We're doing it now because we want to.
Cloudburst! I bet you can't play that. Come on, then.
After a tide of publicity, the new album by the pop group Oasis has at last reached the shops.
This is probably going to be the most important album of our career, really. Nothing better than the best album of 1997 is good enough for us. You know, we want to blow every other band into oblivion. As simple as that. Still do, you know. Still want to just eclipse every single musician in this country. Because we want to, because we can, because we're the best.
3, 2, 1.
not so much a crush as a polite gathering of Oasis fans outside the HMV record store in London's Oxford Street this morning. At times they appeared outnumbered by the media. It could turn out to be the marketing coup of the year.
Be Here Now, I'm glad you brought it up, had a lot of adverse press reaction, and you yourself said you didn't like it.
Well, in hindsight, yeah, in hindsight, looking back on it now, we should have called it "F it, that'll do." You know?
I think it's top, mate.
Do you?
Yeah, I actually do.
Why do you think it's bland?
Well, see, I was producing it as well, and you know, maybe. Well, let's just say there was a lot of substances involved, and we sort of went up our own arses a bit. I don't know why, but I listen back to it. It sounds like a Bon Jovi album to me now. I mean, I like "Do You Know What I Mean" and "Fading Out," and about 2 other tracks, and the rest of it just sounds like "Slippery When Wet." You know. But if our kid's watching this, he's probably going to leather me now for saying that.
No one thinks it's horrible, but you know, I'm sure in deep down he only thinks it's horrible because everyone else thinks it's shit. But 6 million people don't think it's shit. So I think it's good, and I think everything we do is good. Otherwise, the people wouldn't have heard it. I think I'm good on it.
4 years ago, they were the biggest band in the world, capable of drawing crowds of 250,000. Tonight, they play here at the Bataclan in Paris for a crowd of 1,800. But now they've ditched the rock and roll behaviour and look more interested in raising families than raising hell. It's tempting to ask whether Oasis can still be the giants they once were.
Are you still the biggest band in the UK?
Well, we're more... In terms of record sales, we're probably not.
Important-wise?
Important... I'll tell you what's the funny thing about being in Oasis, right? Is when we first started off, we were hailed as the new Beatles. And then, second of all, we were the U2 it was all right to like. And now we're a younger version of the Rolling Stones, i.e. the records don't do too well, but you can still come and see us at Wembley.
I heard, Liam,
Yeah.
that you were off the sauce.
Yeah, I was, yeah. For 2 months I was off it for, which was good. And I plan on doing it all the time, you know what I mean? Every time I've got to work, I'm going to be sober, you know, because, I can't remember the last 7 years of this band, you know what I mean? And everyone tells me it was good. So now I want to remember what's going on, so.
I'm a jobbing musician, he's a rock star.
I'm not a rock star, because people don't know what rock stars are these days. Apparently Robbie Williams is a rock star.
It's people's band, isn't it? Hopefully. That's what they want.
I ain't faking it, you know, it is what they see on stage is what they see off stage, you know what I mean? There's none of that like, yeah, I'm here tonight, Matthew, and tomorrow, people are, praying to the Lord. We appeal to the average person,
I think
they don't need to be praying it.
I think that when they come to our gigs, that it's going to be exciting. And every time we do 3 gigs in a row, 1 is going to be appalling and 2 are going to be great. So it's like having a little game of cards.
It doesn't get much bigger or more rock and roll than this next lot. After a 2-year break, Noel, Liam, Andy and Gem have created their 6th studio album, and this is their brilliant song Lila. Here are Oasis!
The songs themselves don't really change, and neither does the subject matter, if indeed there is any subject matter. When you're writing songs from the perspective
of a 24-year-old who has nothing in the world apart from a guitar and a sports bike full of clothes, and that's it, you know. And when you're kind of 39 and you've got children and other things get in the way, you know, so you tend to compartmentalise it, you know what I mean? You set aside time for writing, as opposed to when I was in my 20s, I was always in a state of creating something. But I don't aggressively pursue it anymore.
Noel Gallagher has said violent and verbal intimidation and a lack of support from management and bandmates forced him to quit Oasis. The statement, released on the band's website, followed last night's cancellation of a performance in Paris.
Last week, Liam said of Noel, "He doesn't like me and I don't like him." Noel's response, quitting the band, stating he could no longer work with Liam, later adding, "The level of verbal and violent intimidation towards me, my family, friends and comrades has become intolerable."
I enjoyed my time in Oasis right up until 15 minutes before I walked out of the dressing room and never went back. I thought it was great, and I still think it's great, and I think what we did, from being just a load of lads on a council estate with some second-hand guitars, was incredible.
Stand by me, and nobody knows the way it's gonna be. Stand by me.
It was so brilliant and so big and meant so much to so many people that to suddenly just say, well, that was then and this is now, would be a bit rude, I think.
Nobody knows the way it's gonna be.
If I didn't write another song from today onwards, I would look back and think, I smashed it, yeah.